Adverse climate disasters are striking Europe with ever-increasing magnitude and frequency. These disasters cause economic damages, biodiversity loss, and unfortunately, deaths. Public authorities are using digital technology, improved phenomenon prediction models, and decision support tools to intervene and manage natural disasters. However, available solutions could be enhanced for better management. That's where TEMA comes in. TEMA is an AI-enabled NDM platform that will support rescuers in natural disaster response and management. By collecting and combining data from satellites, drones, sensors, and the web, TEMA improves phenomenon modeling performance and analytics. This results in interactive visualization for better situational awareness and decision support. In TEMA, an extended reality interface will be developed for integrating and visualizing live maps, predictions, explanations, and recommendations. This will provide support for the user in an operational control room, also allowing them to interactively assess contingent response alternatives via simulation. Moreover, TEMA will provide a scalable and efficient NDM analytics as a service for making the tools available over the cloud. TEMA allows human operators to understand complex NDM phenomena and easily evaluate alternative response strategies. Through information fusion software for heterogeneous data, XAI algorithms for multimodal analysis, near real-time phenomenon modeling software, visual privacy preservation software, response planning software for optimal sensor placement, rapid and robust digital twin and geovisual analytics software, education material, and technical standards for extreme data analysis. TEMA digital technology is tested and implemented for floods in Germany and Greece, and forest fires in Italy and Finland. With TEMA, public authorities will be better equipped to manage natural disasters and protect people in Europe and beyond.
Hello everyone, welcome, good morning, and it is a pleasure to have us joined in the official launch of the TEMA Open Demo Days. My name is Caterina Belli and I am a communication strategist and project manager at Lisbon Council, a Brussels-based think tank. And together with me, I have Margareta Michelic-Stogen from the Bavarian Red Cross and Vasilis Migdalis from the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. We are all representing the Horizon Project Europe TEMA. And before we begin going into further detail with regards to the actual planning of the TEMA Open Demo Days, allow me to give you a swift overview of the project and what we represent. TEMA is a four-year project funded under Horizon Europe. It started in December 2022, and it will finish in November this year. Terracid extremely precise mapping and prediction for emergency mass management, as its TEMA's full name, brings together 19 partners from 8 different European countries that are key players in the fields of data analysis, AI, modeling, drone technologies, simulations and visualizations, analytics and cloud computing, as well as people representing policy counseling and, of course, emergency response authorities and public bodies. You can meet our consortium here and find more information about them in our website. What led us to create a project such as TEMA? Climate change is leading European countries to experience increasingly more frequent and damaging events related to disasters such as wildfires and flooding. The effect of those events is expected to increase exponentially and make the European Union more vulnerable due to their magnitude and frequency. In Europe alone, between 1980 and 2020, disasters have affected more than 50 million people and caused an economic losses of roughly 12 billion euros per year. At the same time, we have technologies related to AI, XAI, and XR, which are useful for solving problems related to disaster management, and that have reached a higher degree of maturity compared to a few years ago. Thus, we have decided to go ahead with proposing a project that develops beyond state-of-the-art technologies for facilitating natural disaster management. These technologies, they exploit data sources and artificial intelligence technologies in order to provide accurate assessment of an evolving crisis situation. The goal of the TEMA is to deliver a technical solution that is supportive in disaster response and management by bringing end users the relevant technologies that will enable them to take more effective and efficient decisions during a crisis. Our specific objectives include improving disaster management through the use of new digital technologies and extreme data analytics, while simultaneously improving and accelerating disaster data analytics themselves by increasing trustworthiness, accuracy, and responsiveness of their algorithms. While also improving and accelerating emergency phenomenon modeling, evaluation, prediction, simulation, and interactive visualization. I will have my colleague Vasilis later on give you some more details on the technologies behind TEMA. But it is a great time to look into the actual approach and the actual disasters that we have studied throughout our project. In TEMA, we have 4 pilots, 2 dedicated to floods and 2 dedicated to fires. The 2 flood pilots focus both on the Central Europe regional floods, including a historical trial that took place last year in Nartal, and a hybrid pilot that will take place in fall this year. At the same time, we are also looking into Mediterranean floods, especially in the region of Evia in Greece, where we're going to have our hybrid pilot this fall, this fall. Floods is not the only natural disaster that we are focusing on. Fire, which is going to actually be the topic of the TEMA Open Demo Days, is one of the major disasters that we look into. We look this into through two different pilots, the first of it being in the Mediterranean forest fires, and especially focusing in the island of Sardinia, while we also look in the Finnish forest fires in the Caiano region. What are the TEMA Open Days, and how do all this information that you just got about our platform and our pilots come into play? The TEMA Open Days are an initiative that is going to last 2 weeks from the 25th of May till the 7th of June. And it will give the opportunity to emergency management practitioners across Europe to access the TEMA SmartX platform through realistic operational scenarios. As an emergency management practitioner, and meaning someone working in civil protection, firefighters, regional and local levels of crisis response, you can register, test, and explore the platform all throughout the duration of the TEMA Open Days. Through this process, you will be able to test and explore, access the platform through the realistic wildfire scenarios, using the scenario that the actual project used just last week during our historical pilot in Sardinia, that is based in the 2023 Posada wildfire. Through this scenario, you will have the opportunity to experience the advanced functionalities for situational awareness, predictive mapping, and crisis monitoring that the TEMA platform offers. You could access the TEMA tools that will help you support operation coordination and decision-making during an emergency response. Furthermore, you are going to be able to provide direct feedback to ourselves that will assist in the future adaptation of the platform and management of the technologies. You are able to register using this QR link and also the links that are available in our LinkedIn and website. And before further ado, I will be honored to pass the floor to Margareta Michelic-Dogen, who is a project manager in the Bavarian Red Cross, one of the end users that are responsible for the pilots that I was mentioning earlier, and especially the one that focuses on Southern European floods. Margareta is going to give us a presentation about what is the added value for practitioners to participate in this exercise. Thank you, Margareta.
Thank you very much, Katarina. So as it was announced, I will tell you something about the added value of TEMA Open Demo Days for the first responders. So when we speak about developing new technologies in emergency management, we often focus mainly on technical side. We hear terms like artificial intelligence, satellite analysis, drones, prediction models, and so on. But for the first responders and civil protection agency, the most important question is usually much simpler. It is, will this actually help me during an operation? And this is exactly why the TEMA Open Demo Days are important. The goal of the TEMA Open Demo Days is not only to present you the new technology that we've been working on. The goal is to create a practical environment where first responders, civil protection experts, our researchers, and technology developments from the project can come together and evaluate how the system works in realistic situations. One of the biggest added values is that practitioners can try the system themselves while it is still in a development phase. It is very often that new technologies are presented to you through presentations, demonstrations, or videos or technical descriptions. But this does not always show how the system really behaves during operational work. What we envisioned for the TEMA Open Demo Days is a bit different because we would like the participants to directly interact with the platform, to explore the functions and understand how information is presented during emergency scenario. For example, what user can see in TEMA system is how satellite data, drone images, weather information, and some other sources of information are combined into one operational picture. You can explore the interactive 3D maps, switch different layers on and off, and better understand how the system supports situational awareness. This is especially important during fast-moving events such as wildfires, where information changes very quickly. And this is actually one of the key ideas behind TEMA system and TEMA as a project. Today, during large incidents, information is often spread across many different systems and different sources. Some information, of course, comes from drones, some from weather services, some from team assessments in the field, satellite images, and so on. For decision makers and commanders, this can become very difficult to manage. The TEMA system tries to reduce this complexity by bringing information together into one continuously updated information picture. For first responders that we would like to see getting engaged with TEMA system, the Open Demo Days are therefore a chance to see how such an approach could support coordination, communication, and decision making during an actual operations. Another very important aspect is that during the TEMA Demo Days, participants are not only the observers. We will offer you a chance to influence the development of the system itself. And this is extremely important in research projects like TEMA. Technology developers may understand the technical possibilities very well, but operational users understand the realities of emergencies. They know what information is missing during stressful situation, what creates confusion, what slows down decision making, what is actually useful in practice. Because of this, feedback from first responder is one of the most valuable parts of the Open Demo Days. Sometimes even relatively small comment from the user can lead to important improvements of the system. Another added value is that TEMA Open Demo Days help people better understand new technologies and what current research and innovation is working on. By seeing the system directly and using it by yourself, you as participant can better understand what this technology can realistically do. At the same time, you can also see the limitations. And this is important because systems like TEMA are not meant to replace operational expertise or human decision making. The goal is not to let technology make decisions instead of a responder. The goal is to support decision makers by providing clearer and faster information. The human remains the center of the process. I think this is an important message, especially when we speak about AI in emergency management. Another important point is preparation for future risks. So climate-related disasters are becoming more frequent and more complex across Europe. Because of this, emergency organizations increasingly need tools that support faster situational awareness and coordination. The TEMA Open Demo Days provide an opportunity to explore such technologies already now and to better understand how they could potentially support future operations. And what would also be important to mention is that participation does not require deep technical expertise. Operational expertise itself is already extremely valuable here. In fact, one of the key questions during the TEMA Open Demo Days is exactly whether the system is understandable and practical for a normal operational users. Because even the most advanced technology is not useful if it's too complicated to be used in a stressful situation. And maybe this is the main point overall. The success of the systems like TEMA does not depend only on technology. It also depends on whether the system is useful, if it's understandable, and most of all, relevant for the people who may actually use it during real emergency. So we are not here only to demonstrate new technology. We would like to offer the opportunity to first responders to actively shape the future tools for disaster management. And this cooperation between research and operational practice is probably one of the most valuable outcomes of the projects like TEMA. To conclude, I would like to invite you to join us during the TEMA Open Demo Days and explore the TEMA system for natural disaster management and coordination. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Margareta, for this comprehensive presentation. I'm going to put once again on the stage the QR code for people that want to register to the TEMA Demo Days. Before we move on and add to the conversation, Vasilios Migdalis from Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, who is the coordinating organization of our consortium. Vasily, thank you for joining us, and I will pass the floor to you to explain to us how these technologies can help assist. These new technologies that TEMA brings into the table are actually comprehensive enough, and it can help assist and emergency management responders, as Margareta said.
So, hello from me. I'm a senior research associate at the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, who is the coordinator of this project. And so the concept of TEMA project is to design new technologies for analyzing different types of data sources, including alerts coming from websites, from the internet, or from Copernicus emergency management system, analyze data coming from drones, smart sensors, analyze social media data, and satellite data. So to analyze those data, TEMA develops advanced, trustworthy analytics technologies, and also technologies for fusing those different data sources into a unified operational picture. Then those outputs of those analytics technologies are provided as input to phenomenon modeling and phenomenon evolution prediction methodologies like fire simulations and flood simulations, more specifically. Also smoke modeling and other technologies. And the third pillar of TEMA project is the interactive visualization technologies. So TEMA also develops visualization technologies for using 2D and 3D representations and try to see which one is the most intuitive for the first responders and disaster management authorities. And finally, the analysis of this system also triggers some response planning recommendations, like assisting NDM authorities decide what is the optimal path for drone images to be collected, and and also autonomous triggering of the Copernicus emergency management system for getting more data in the area inflicted by the natural disaster. So I will move forward with presenting you this system in how it works in practice. So let me share my screen. Okay, so I think it is working. So you will be receiving credentials for joining and recreating this session on your own. So starting from this screen, this is our Smart Desk visualization platform that supports it's the 2D operational window where all information is brought into the same place. So,
Vasilis,
yes,
sorry
Katerina?
to interrupt you, but I think that the screen is not visible. So
Okay.
would you mind resharing this again with us?
No problem.
Yes, so basically at this stage, Vasilis is going to walk you through what is the TEMA SmartX platform that you will be able to see online during the TEMA Open Demo Days. And he will walk you through the different steps of how to enjoy all the different features of the platform. The platform itself includes different technological features, such as the one that Vasily said, and this is a SmartDesk website version that would be available for the 2 weeks of the TEMA Demo Days. In order to access it, you will be receiving, whoever registers to participate in this exercise will be receiving a link to join this platform. So I will pass now the floor again to Vasilis to show us the Smart Desk of TEMA.
Okay, so I hope now the sharing is working, right? Okay. So after logging in, you will be seeing a map of the world, and with mostly focus on Europe, of course. So the starting point of this technology is an alert. So the first conceptual thing is the alert. So the alert is something that may be retrieved from from Copernicus emergency management system, or it could be triggered manually by the end users, and it could be, of course, got from website alerts and etc. And so for the use case I'm demonstrating, we are focusing on the fire in Posada in Sardinia in 2023. So in that case, an alert was received that this area will be in danger for extreme fire events. So after the alert is launched, TEMA system can calculate a fire simulation. So I think I have to have this open all the time. No, maybe no, sorry. So first, taking into account the weather conditions of this particular day, a fire simulation is calculated using cloud analysis, and arrives at the TEMA system exactly when the analysis is over. So we see that. I'm sorry. So the first version of this fire simulation was around here, because the weather conditions looked that the wind is going to go that way. And in the TEMA system, we can also visualize the path of the fire that is following the red lines, the probability of this fire path, and also the intensity of the fire using different color codes, and the flame length. So after this first version of the fire simulation, the next step is to collect more data about this area. So TEMA platform, for this reason, can propose a flight path for drones to go to this area and collect data automatically. So this helps to obtain, for instance, flight permits if need be. So this is the flight path, and it visualizes the way that the drone should follow to generate as much information as possible. So when the drones finally fly, they collect some types of images. And here we can see the location of where those images have been collected. And if we click on them, we can see that here we have the analysis that is generated by AI automatically. We can see that some vehicles have been detected. So these are cars that are in danger. We also have the detailed segmentation of fire and smoke from the images. And also besides, so if we believe that we are not certain if those detections are right, TEMA also supports explainability technologies. And it can show that if they are based on actual inputs or if they are based on model hallucination. So after images arrive and are collected by the system, the information coming from the simulator and the images are fused to generate the areas of the detected cars, people, and the actual location of the fire, the ignition points. Next, using the images collected by the drone data, we can get a 3D representation of the area that is generated on the fly. And so we can have a better operational picture directly at the command center. And we can also have precise analytics about the buildings that are in danger. That are at risk for the fire based on their distance from the actual ignition points and the fire simulation boundaries. Last but not least, we can also have, excuse me about this, we can also have real-time information about social media that are posted in this area or in the areas around the inflicted zone that are speaking about this event. And the TEMA platform performs a real-time analysis of the actual social media posts in terms of it summarizes the most relevant social media posts and also performs an emotion analysis. So we can have a classification of what people are actually thinking in the area and how they are feeling. And this is a very important aspect also to take into account during a natural disaster management scenario. And the other good thing about the TEMA platform is that it updates iteratively when new information arrives. So the first flood simulation was calculated at 3 p.m. Okay, and it was believing that the fire will go south. But as you know, fires tend to generate their own weather conditions, local weather conditions, and TEMA system is able to calibrate the simulation based on localized weather sensors and also based on information from data coming from the actual location, like the drone images, for instance. And this type of information is also linked in our advanced fusion technologies. So here we have the ignition points of the fire and all the analytics combined together in a single platform. And finally, since the satellite data were triggered, we can also have an overlay of the automated satellite data analysis that provides the burnt area. So as you can see, the burnt area matched the fire simulation more better than the initial simulation without real-time data. And of course, the system also supports some other functionalities like showing distances between different points in real time and etc. So you will be free to use the system and see its functionalities. And you will also be receiving training material on what and how its technology works. So I think that's it from me. Going back to Katerina. Yes.
Thank you so much, Vasilis, for this comprehensive overview of all the technological features of the platform itself, and for giving us the opportunity to look a bit into the actual platform and what our participants will be able to have in mind for the next the next 2 weeks. And we are now leading to the end of our short launch of the TEMA Open Demo Days. Thank you so much for joining us for this launch. The spotlight is now to you. If you want to be part of this initiative and experience the platform yourselves, you can register using the link that is now available at your screens. After registering, you will be sent on Monday, 25th of May, in the morning, all the relevant information related to how to join, test, and explore the TEMA platform. If you or any of your colleagues want to participate but did not register by Monday, do not fret. Registration will be open in a rolling basis all throughout the 2 weeks that the TEMA Open Demo Days will run, meaning that you can register anytime from now up until the 7th of June. Furthermore, we are very pleased to announce that the opportunity of the float capability to test the float capabilities of the TEMA platform will be available during the second part of the TEMA Open Demo Days, which will run in the fall of 2026. Do not be discouraged of dropping us any message or email throughout all channels. You can join us in LinkedIn, find our email address at our website, and let us know if you need any help in registering or exploring the platform. So you have now the opportunity to register, join, and explore and test the TEMA platform. I would like to thank you once again for joining and give a big thanks and congratulations to Vasilis and Margareta for their comprehensive presentations and inputs on why this initiative is so important. That's all from us, and we hope to see you all online.
Adverse climate disasters are striking Europe with ever-increasing magnitude and frequency. These disasters cause economic damages, biodiversity loss, and unfortunately, deaths. Public authorities are using digital technology, improved phenomenon prediction models, and decision support tools to intervene and manage natural disasters. However, available solutions could be enhanced for better management. That's where TEMA comes in. TEMA is an AI-enabled NDM platform that will support rescuers in natural disaster response and management. By collecting and combining data from satellites, drones, sensors, and the web, TEMA improves phenomenon modeling performance and analytics. This results in interactive visualization for better situational awareness and decision support. In TEMA, an extended reality interface will be developed for integrating and visualizing live maps, predictions, explanations, and recommendations. This will provide support for the user in an operational control room, also allowing them to interactively assess contingent response alternatives via simulation. Moreover, TEMA will provide a scalable and efficient NDM analytics as a service for making the tools available over the cloud. TEMA allows human operators to understand complex NDM phenomena and easily evaluate alternative response strategies. Through information fusion software for heterogeneous data, XAI algorithms for multimodal analysis, near real-time phenomenon modeling software, visual privacy preservation software, response planning software for optimal sensor placement, rapid and robust digital twin and geovisual analytics software, education material, and technical standards for extreme data analysis. TEMA digital technology is tested and implemented for floods in Germany and Greece, and forest fires in Italy and Finland. With TEMA, public authorities will be better equipped to manage natural disasters and protect people in Europe and beyond.